swag. Let's tier rank some book tropes.
What a wonderful.
What's up, guys? As you can tell by the title of this video, today I'm going to be tier ranking popular book tropes. Now, I've seen a few different YouTubers do this video, so I thought it would be really fun because I really enjoy watching these types of videos and hearing other people's opinions on popular book tropes or just other things that they will tier rank. So I thought it'd be a really fun video idea. Without further ado, let's get on into it. So before we get into the video, I did want to give a little disclaimer that in no way am I trying to offend anybody by saying I don't like their book trope, and if there is a book trope in here that I just absolutely do not like and I don't like it and you like it, that is perfectly fine because we just have different views. And if you like it, then kudos to you. You read it. You should be reading what you want to read, just like I should read what I want to read. That's part of reading. It's fun to choose what kind of books we want to read and read different stories that interest us. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there before we get into the video. Okay, so let me screen record. Okay, guys, we are screen recording. Let's go. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about the different columns that I have, or like the different tiers, I guess that you could say. Here, let's increase this brightness a little bit. So, okay, so the different tiers I have. So we're going to start with the bottom. So that is haven't read yet. So self-explanatory. I haven't read these tropes yet. And then above that we have it's a no for me. This basically is just like, I don't like this trope. I won't rereading it. It's not for me, stated. And then we have not the vibe. I mean, it's not necessarily something that I will pick up. I'm not going to be going to read a book just because you tell me that it has this trope. It's kind of like, it's okay. Not my favorite. And then we have doesn't hit unless done right. So this means that sometimes I will like this trope depending on how the author writes it, but sometimes it doesn't hit. It just depends on how the author writes it. And then we have not my fave, but also not my least fave. Pretty self-explanatory. I like the book. It wasn't anything crazy, but I still really enjoyed it. And then we have love, 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 which just means I really, really love this book trope, and I usually really enjoy it. And then I'm running to the bookstore is basically just my all-time favorite book tropes. Like, if you tell me that this trope is in a book, I am going to be reading the book. So yeah, those are all of the tiers, and now we're gonna get into this. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm literally so excited. Also, are we sensing a pattern? I got some coffee today. I don't know if you guys have seen Cora Sherkle. She's like a YouTuber, and she posted this drink, and I wanted to try it. So I asked my dad if we could go, and he took me, which is really nice. Basically, the drink is an iced hazelnut latte with sweet cream cold foam and caramel drizzle. Wow, that is a mouthful. I will put it up on the screen in case you guys want to try it. But yeah, it's really good. So alrighty, so the first tier, and also I'm gonna be looking down at my computer, so that's why if I'm not like looking right at the camera, my computer is just down here. Okay, so the very first one we have is teacher student. Now I really haven't read many of these. Like, I think the love hypothesis is like my main one, but he's not even her professor. It's just like a professor at where she like goes to school or whatever. So like that's the only, I'm pretty sure that's like the only one I've read, and I really did like that, but I feel like this would make me uncomfy depending on the age. Like, I feel like if it's like a professor and you're in college and like it just depends. I think I'm gonna say, it's either doesn't hit unless done right or not the vibe. Ooh, decisions. Okay, this is gonna be a whole lot of me just not knowing where to put anything because I'm indecisive. I'm gonna say doesn't hit unless done right. Okay, so next we have fake dating. I really do enjoy fake dating, actually. I just love how it's like when they're dating and it's like, oh, does he like me? Does he not? Like, then the lines get blurred and then it's like, is this fake or is this real? Like, I love it. So I think we're gonna say love, 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 because I do really enjoy good fake dating. Okay, next we have sports romance. Okay, you guys, I love a good sports romance. Now, I haven't really read many, let's be real. I've read I've read the Off-Campus series, and then I'm currently reading the Dirty Air series, which is like F1, and then Off-Campus is like hockey. So I really enjoyed that, and I will say a lot of people don't love sports romances because they don't read the book for the sport, and I don't really read those books either just because it's like, oh, F1 racing's in this, I'm reading it. You know what I mean? But I do really enjoy a good sports romance. I think it adds a lot to it, so I'm gonna put love, love, love. Okay, forced proximity. Oh, guys, we are just starting off so good. I'm obsessed with like so many of these. I feel like this is gonna be hard for me. Like, this is already very difficult. Okay, so forced proximity. I really do enjoy it. It just depends on how it's forced. Like, if it's like workplace forced, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna say not my fave, but also not my least fave. It just depends how they're forced. Because like in Twisted Love, when they were like neighbors, I thought that was like the perfect amount. You know what I mean? So I guess it depends. Okay, bad boy, good girl. You already know. Love, 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 at least. It is one of my favorites. Like, I really do love it. So I could put it in I'm Running to the Bookstore. But I feel like just because you tell me it's bad boy, good girl, that doesn't mean I'm gonna like, oh my gosh, I have to read it because it has this trope. Because realistically, like, there's so many books that are bad boy, good girl, and it depends how it's written. And it depends, like, how, like, why? Why is he a bad boy? Is there a reason behind it? Is it like trauma from his past? I need to know these things, you know? So I think love, love, love is a good spot for that right now. Next, we have mafia romance, which I haven't read yet. I really, really want to read a mafia romance. I've read Wattpad Duplicity. Actually haven't finished it because each chapter is like an hour long to read. At least towards the end. Okay, maybe that's just me. That's the only one I've read, so I'm not really going to count that because it's like Wattpad. You know what I mean? So we're going to just put that in haven't read yet. Okay, Grumpy Sunshine. Yeah, doesn't hit unless done right. I do really like a good Grumpy Sunshine, and that kind of goes along the lines of like bad boy, good girl. But I just feel like a lot of books are Grumpy Sunshine. Like, I feel like a lot of, just so many books that I've been reading lately are just Grumpy Sunshine, and he's usually the grump and she's usually the sunshine. And while that's great, I love it, sometimes it just doesn't hit. Like, I feel like it has to be done a specific way for me to love it. So that's that. And then we have bodyguard romance. Oh my gosh. Rise and Bridget from Twisted Games. I think yes. I've only read that is like the only one I've read that's a bodyguard romance. So I'm gonna say love, 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 because I do really enjoy that. Like, he has to protect her and like, I don't know. I really like it. Right person, wrong time. I feel like this goes under like second chance romance, so I might wait till we get to that one. Okay, only one bed. The one bed trope. I mean, I like it. I enjoy them having to share a bed. Like, yeah, please. I do enjoy it. But am I gonna just read a book only because it has one bed trope? Like, no. Like, it's such a little insignificant part in a book that I feel like, I'm not gonna just read it because of that. But I don't know where to put it because it's like, I'll just say not my fave, but not my least fave. It's not that it's like not my fave. I just am like, it's very insignificant to a plot line. So I'm just kind of like, eh. Okay, Love at First Sight. No, thank you. No, thank you, because I do not like Insta Love. Okay, I don't. And I don't know if Love at First Sight and Insta Love go together. Okay, I'll put it in Not the Vibe. Love Triangle. I don't know that I have read a love triangle. Sort of. Does the Summer I Turn Pretty count? I'm trying to look at my shelf. Have I read any other love triangles? I don't know. And I haven't read enough, I feel like, to have an opinion. I'm going to say doesn't hit unless done right, because I haven't read enough to really have an opinion on it. But yeah. Okay, Single Parent. It's a no for me. I'm sorry. It depends. It really does. Friends to Enemies to Lovers. This is so specific that I don't know if I've read a book that's just like that. Like they're friends and they don't. I haven't read one like this actually. Friends to enemies to lovers. Haven't read it, but it sounds like something I would adore. Okay, age gap, yeah. That's honestly either love, 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 or I'm running to the bookstore. It's probably love, 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 because I do enjoy good age gap, like Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. Not many people love that book. I'm all here for it. I want more. I do. I enjoyed it a lot. I think that's like the only age gap I've read. I need to read more. I'd love to read more. Oh, Rise and Bridget from Twisted Games was pretty age gap. And like, I've read some, but I want to read some Mariana Zapata because I know she has some age gap. And I know her books are slow burn as well, so that sounds fun. Accidental Pregnancy. Nope. Simply no. Simply no. Bully romance. Nope. Not for me. I don't understand. Like, if you like this, go for it. Like, that's great. You read it. But I've actually never, okay, here's the thing. I've never read a bully romance, but I'm going to say it's a no for me because why? Why do we have to be mean to her? Like, I get if it's like, oh, enemies to lovers. No, this is like straight up bullying and like being a rude person. We don't stand that. We don't stand that. We don't. Brother's best friend. I love it. I love it. It's God tier for me. It is. I'm running to the bookstore. Say no more. Say less. Say less. Friends with benefits to lovers. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Miles and Tate. I love it. Workplace romance. I'm just going to say it doesn't hit unless done right. Like, if you tell me this isn't a book, I'm going to be like, cool. Doesn't really make me want to read it that much. It's not like they're bad. Like, they're good. There's got to be more than just like, oh, like, it's because typically I feel like workplace romance is like, oh my gosh, we work at the same place, but like we hate each other, like enemies to lovers, but we don't actually hate each other. It's just they think I hate them and I think they hate me. So then it's like we hate each other without actually having a reason, and then they end up together, but then they're like fighting for the same job position. I feel like they're all like that. So it's okay. Enemies to lovers. I love enemies to lovers. I'm gonna say not my fave, but not my least fave, only for the reason that I feel like enemies to lovers is either done really, really well, and it's like God tier for me, or it's like, not the vibe. Because here's the thing, and also just because I have like one trope, like just because I have enemies to lovers and not my fave but not my least fave, that could be for one book, but then another book it's in I'm running to the bookstore, but then you know what I'm saying. So just because I have one trope under one specific tier doesn't mean that like if I read it in one book it could be higher or lower on the tier ranking, if that makes sense. So yeah, enemies to lovers, it has to be done right, because I feel like a lot of times they don't fully have a reason to be enemies and they don't really hate each other. Like, I like it when they're enemies, like I want to kill you, and then they fall in love. Like, that's me. Is it toxic? Probably. Do I love it still? Heck yes. Okay, strangers to lovers. I haven't really read where they're just like strangers and then they just like date. Like, I feel like they always are like kind of like friendly, you know what I mean? Childhood friends to lovers. I'm running to the bookstore. I'm running there. I'm already there. And I'm buying the book. And if it's not at the bookstore, then I'm ordering it on Amazon as we speak. Love Childhood Friends to Lovers. As you guys know, if you've seen any of my other videos, Love in Other Words, one of my favorite books of all time, Childhood Friends to Lovers. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, I think that's who it's by. One of my favorite books ever. Childhood Friends to Lovers, and I'm obsessed. I'm simply obsessed. Slow burn. I don't know. I've read one slow burn book, and that, or I guess one that could be like classified as slow burn, and that was The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I think that's how you say her name. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. I would love to read a Mariana Zapata book because I know her books are really slow burn, but I also don't know if it's too much for me. I'm gonna say doesn't hit unless done right. Or no, I'm gonna say not my fave, but not, I don't know. I'm gonna say doesn't hit unless done right, because I feel like that's true. One of Us is Famous. it doesn't hit unless it's done right, and here's why. I feel like if they're famous, they're either super, I don't know, because if they're famous and they're super cocky and arrogant and like, oh, look at me, I'm famous, that means I'm so much better than you, like, ew. No. But if they're like humbled about it and like, I don't know, it just depends, I feel. I hate everyone in the world but you. I'm sorry, I'm running to the bookstore. I love it. I love it, I do, simply. Right person, not enough time. Okay. It's not the vibe. Like, it's just not the vibe. Because here's why. I love a good... Okay, I do enjoy these books. But this is just looking for pain. And I don't know that I necessarily want to read a book where I know they're not going to end up together. I don't want that. Usually not enough time means one of them is, like, going to die because they have an illness. Or like cancer or something, and that's awful, and I don't want to read about that. Like, that just makes me really sad. And if I want a good sad book, sure. But usually I'm not looking for this trope. Okay, friends to lovers. I do really, really like friends to lovers. I like it when they're friends first, and then they become something more than that. Good boy, bad girl. Low-key haven't read one of these. Let me know, though. I know a lot of people like these, so interested in that. Insta love, it's a no for me. It's a literal no for me. I don't like it. Here's the thing. November 9 by Colleen Hoover, that was Insta love. But do I also love that book and give it like, I don't know, I think I give it like 4.75 stars? Which is really good, almost a 5-star. Yeah, I did. I absolutely did do that because that book was everything. But I feel like I just can't do Insta love. I feel like it's too, no. Like you just met and you're in love with them. Like it doesn't, no. It's not realistic. And I know we're not reading to find realistic things because like, obviously. But I just feel like it's just not my fave. Okay. Billionaire romance. Not my fave, not my least fave. I feel like I haven't read enough. It just depends. Again, depends. A lot of these books, it kind of depends. Or a lot of these tropes, it depends, but whatever. Royalty. It doesn't hit unless done right. I don't know. Like, also not the vibe, though, kind of, because I really like the Selection series that I read in middle school. I really like that, and like Rise and Bridget from Twisted Games, she's royalty, but I also don't feel like I'm gonna read a book just because I know one of them is royal. Like, I just, Okay, secret relationship. Not my, okay, I think I'm gonna say, it's either not my fave, but not my least fave, or it doesn't hit unless done right. I'm gonna say, doesn't hit unless done right, because I feel like, why are you keeping it a secret? I feel like it has to be a good reason, and I kind of like it because it's like, it's just them together. It's sweet, like the world doesn't know, it's just kind of like their thing. But then it also gets to a point where like some books drag it on too long, and then it's like, are you gonna tell anybody? Like, why are you keeping this a secret? Forced proximity, that one was already on here. So was single parent, so was workplace. Okay, a lot of these were already on here. Some of these are duplicates. That's okay though. Second chance romance, I love them. Like, I'm running to the bookstore. I do. I really, really love second chance romance books. Before We Were Strangers, one of my favorite books ever. Love in Other Words, Every Summer After. Like, I love second chance romance. Right person, wrong time. I feel like kind of falls under second chance, but then it's like, do you never end up together? Or what do you mean? So I feel like we'll put it, doesn't end unless done right. Marriage of Convenience, I haven't read one of those, but I really want to. I have Terms and Conditions on my shelf, which I know is a Marriage of Convenience, and that makes me so excited because, yes, Because yes, like that sounds amazing. Best friend's brother? Okay. Haven't read of that either, but I would love to. Love to. Brother's best friend done that. Stepbrother romance. Haven't read that, and I don't ever want to. No thank you. Not for me. I just think, ugh, if you like that, like, okay, that's fine, but is it? Like, those are so, like, that is so messed up. Your stepbrother, that's like, no. It's just, I wouldn't ever read it for me, personally. Okay, so I think we got all of these done. Alrighty guys, so that was all of my tier rankings for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. It was really fun. It was honestly really hard because I'm a very indecisive person, if you know me. That was really hard because I like a lot of those and I didn't know where to put a lot of them, so I don't know. But yeah, here's my final product of my tier rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, all the stuff that you guys know how to do, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a good one. Peace.